I can't believe you're gone, man. I'm gonna miss you. You gotta do your APUSH video there, man. You gotta wake up.
Oh my god, I have to do my APUSH video. Oh my god. I can't die yet. I'm too busy to die, damn it. I'm like FDR during his final days. I'm crippling polio. Oh my lord. Now this is a story all about how my APUSH grade will go all the way down. Now I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you the transformation of the economy. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Well, not really back since this is the first video, but you get what I mean. Today we're going to be talking about the most interesting subject on planet Earth, and no, I'm not talking about Minecraft parodies. Oh no. I'm talking about the transformation of the economy. Oof, oh boy. So first we're going to start off with the late 18th, early 19th century, where people finally decide, oh, we should probably have a division of labor, make everything so much more simple. And avast, it was simple. It was so much more simple. In 1820 and 1830, merchants in Lynn, Massachusetts destroyed business of artisans by introducing outwork system and the division of labor. This is a more efficient system that increased the output and cut prices quite significantly. Now, because of these new industrial revolutions, as you might say, America actually threatened British textile companies because they were so monumentally productive. And Britain actually had to up the ampage on virtually everything to even compete relatively with America. Now, don't get me wrong. America was still pretty small, but comparatively to Britain, my God, they were fantastic. Now, because of these new industries, the Waltham-Lowell system came to pass, where basically the employer gave the employees a place to live and gave them some food, which people thought this would give a lot of independence, but actually they had a what is it called when you can't like go out at night? A curfew. There we go. When they had a curfew and they couldn't drink alcohol.
Tom, what are you doing? You gotta come back out. It's late.
No! Artisan republicanism was basically an ideal of self-ownership, which was pretty monumental during this time, because a lot of people who worked before this time period were either slaves, apprentices, or they worked for a very minimal wage, and their managers didn't really care about them. In 1840, craft workers in St. Louis secured a 10-hour day, and the actual federal government actually secured this after a executive order stating that the federal workers get this sort of work day. The labor theory of value was actually pretty interesting during this time period, because a lot of people thought that the price of goods should reflect the labor required to make them, and the income sales should go primarily to the producers, not to middlemen or the factory owners. Back again in 1825, a lot of things happened in 1825. The New York legislature actually constructed the Erie Canal. The Erie Canal was, how long was it? 364 miles. The reason why they created this canal was because land travel was too expensive and too wearing on everybody involved. So they decided that, hey, maybe we should use some boats or something to carry all of these important goods to the rest of the known universe. Doing a little bit of traveling back in time, 1807, Robert Fulton built the first steamboat, and it was called the Clermont. And he piloted up the Hudson River. Now this was a pretty cool invention, because no other boat during this time was powered by steam. Everything was reliant on the wind. So because of this, the Erie Canal was actually possible. It wasn't solely reliant on the wind. But in the Post Office Act of 1872 created the first network for exchange of information, and by that might be actually 1772, actually.
What the
I have no idea.
Hey, 1772.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
America was founded in 1776. 1776 is when we wrote the Declaration of Independence, Tom.
I know, but shut up. The Post Office Act of 1872 created the first network for exchange of information, and by 1830, there was more than 8,000 post offices delivered thousands of letters and banknotes. So, thinking about how young America is at this point, having that many post offices is holy moly. Now, the growth and expansion of cities during this time period was also pretty noticeable. Places like Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, and New Orleans were also fairly notable. Pittsburgh and Cincinnati were also known as transit centers, where basically workers offloaded a lot of farmers' stuff and off of their rafts, wagons, and railroads. I'm basically getting this all off of the outline. You can basically follow me along throughout this entire outline. I'm skipping some stuff just because a lot of the stuff in the presentation was already presented. And actually, Cincinnati was called Porkopolis. I don't think I said that before, but because of these new divisions of labor in the assembly line, Cincinnati became a pretty big place for pork. Just thought you should know, slaughterhouses were pretty popular back during this day. Social classes and different cultures actually came up during this time period as well. Little did people know, and also during these the past presentations that were presented, a lot of new cultures started coming out, especially in the slave population. But the larger groups, such as the business elite, who were basically the managers of all these factories, the factory operators and all of that jazz, who were hiring different employees. They were actually the ones that were the main part of the Waltham-Lowell system. But the middle class was eventually formed during this time period, which gave a lot of not really rich Americans, but well-off Americans different special jobs, like being a lawyer, being a doctor, being a pharmacist, being all of that jazz. What would it be? A printer. There we go. For newspapers. The growing middle class and the social product of increased commerce. The class was made up of farmers, mechanics, manufacturers, and traders. Later on, we'll eventually see the lawyers and doctors and all of that jazz in the middle class, but right now we're getting like farmers and manufacturers and all of that jazz. Pretty much people who aren't necessarily rich, but aren't necessarily dying on the streets. The self-made man became a centralized theme in America, America's pop culture, and inspired many men and a couple of women to seek success. This also gave way to the increase of capitalism throughout America, because you know us Americans in capitalism, we're like a capitalist bee. If anybody steps in our way, we burn them at the stake. We can see that in Salem. You thought I was done? Oh, no. With economic growth in America, there came a wealth of immigration. There was a lot of immigration in this time period. About 2 million Irishmen, 1.5 million Germans, and 750,000 Britons entered America because we were just that good. And now, because of all of this immigration that happened, and also because we were a really young country, we couldn't really support all of these immigrants. So, a lot of them lived in poverty. Now, there were also a lot of tensions between Protestants and Catholics during this time period. In 1834, in Charleston, Massachusetts, a quarrel between Catholic laborers repairing a convent and Protestant workers in a neighboring brickyard led to a full-scale riot and the convent's destruction. So this displays a wealth of cosmic disillusion between both the Protestants and Catholics during this time period, and it's still going on today, except with a lot less bloodshed. Hey guys, welcome to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed the video. I didn't put too many laughs. I didn't put too many goofs. Most of the stuff that I said was on the outline. I was looking at it on my phone. That's basically all I did. I skipped a little bit of stuff. It was a pretty rough summary of everything that was said in the presentation before. I wanted to connect for a little bit of stuff. This was a learning opportunity for me. It was a learning opportunity for you, huh? I thought it was pretty important. Special thanks to my friend Rye over here for letting me borrow his camera for filming. Also, another special thanks for my friend Ryan.
This man owes me $5 for editing this entire thing.
But yeah, I'm also gonna say another thank you to Rye for editing this video. It was as much of a cosmic mess up this has been. Oh my god. God.
It was kind of.
It was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't too much of a cosmic mess up. It wasn't too much like a.
It was a cosmic mess up.